Welcome to the show.
What's happening in Qatar? Not
Guitar?
What's happening in
Qatar has been embargoed by 5 countries.
I think it's 7.
I didn't actually count.
I thought it was 9.
I think it was 11.
Let's Libya,
Yes.
Egypt,
Yep.
UAE,
Yep.
Saudi Arabia,
Yep.
Bahrain,
Yep.
Did you say Egypt?
Maldives.
Maldives, someone else.
Did you say Egypt?
I think so.
Yeah, you did.
He did. He went across. That was good.
So what are they doing?
Yemen, I guess.
What?
Yemen. Yes.
They don't really count.
What is an embargo?
okay.
It means they're cutting ties.
You can't. So they've cut off all Qatar aircraft from going into their airspace. They've closed the borders. So the main border where they get food between. So Qatar, if you don't know, is a really small country that's like a growth on the leg that is Saudi Arabia. If it had like a boil.
Smaller than New South Wales. I
It's
heard.
the way you just described
So
it.
it's smaller than. It's probably smaller than Tasmania.
Oh,
Really small.
that's big words.
Like UAE is small, and it's probably smaller than UAE as well.
I've never heard those letters.
I've been to
United
Qatar.
Arab
Arab
Emirates,
Oh, right.
Dubai.
That makes
Dubai.
more sense.
So they're in trouble because Al Jazeera. Have you guys heard of Al Jazeera?
Sounds
I've heard of
familiar.
Al Jazeera English.
I read
Yes.
the news.
So they're a big news network. They're actually from Qatar, like the Qatari government, I guess.
Ah.
Great
pays
site.
for them. Yeah, they're pretty good news website, but news organization. But the Saudis got really upset at them because a little while back, these comments from the Qatari emir, which is their king, came out, which were like really critical of the Saudis and pro Iran and Israel, and kind of like criticizing Saudi Arabia, and everyone got really offended by it. But then the Qataris were like, no, Russian hackers hacked like Al Jazeera. That's how that news got posted.
It's like the auto reply.
Yeah.
It's like if anything goes wrong. Russian hackers.
Yeah.
But so of all those countries, Qatar's the one that doesn't really play ball with the other ones. Everyone else kind of follows Saudi Arabia's lead on stuff. They said it was because Qatar has been sponsoring extremists. But that's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black,
That's a
because the
big
Saudis
claim.
have definitely been doing that as well.
and it's because they're destabilizing the region.
Yeah, but the Saudis, I think the one thing the Saudis care about more than anything else is isolating Iran, because they're their big rival. And the Qataris are not that big on isolating Iran.
They're friendly with Iran.
Yeah. So they're trying to like be the mediator, and I think that really annoys the Saudi Arabians. And so I think that was a year ago. Oh no, half a year ago. These Qatari royals, members of the royal family, had gone on a hunting trip in Iraq to like hunt for this type of antelope thing, or bird. I can't remember. I think it was a bird.
This is allegedly, right?
No, they did, and they got taken captive by this Shia militia.
Did they pay them the ransom though?
Allegedly, they paid $1 billion to get them back,
Which to Qatari is nothing.
which ended up getting funneled to
The Taliban.
the Iranians and someone else who were extreme groups.
To Al
Can I
Qaeda.
ask a dumb
Yeah,
question?
that's the one.
Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda, yeah.
What's wrong with doing that?
Paying
Like
the
paying ransom, I mean.
Because it's going to terrorists.
Okay.
Yeah, $1 billion is a lot of money.
But did they know that it was going to end up in the terrorists' hands?
Well, yeah, because it's a Shia
They
militia.
abducted
The Shia militias are like the enemies of
Oh,
the
wait, they
Saudis.
paid the terrorists. Right. Gotcha. No, I thought they paid the country and then they dispersed the money.
to the terrorists.
The terrorists kidnap them and then they pay you.
And then
then
I
they get
give
free.
them the money.
But like that's a tough place. Is like you want to pay it because you want your people.
Well, what are you supposed to do? Like, they've got your
We
royalties.
do not negotiate
billion.
with terrorists.
Sure you
$1 billion
do.
is a lot of money.
$1 billion is a lot of money. Qatar is actually the richest country in the world per capita.
Yes.
And it's almost like they're paying for their mistake. It seems like it's like, actually, is that a mistake? Sending
Going hunting.
It's just
something in
dumb.
Iraq?
right?
That's what you do when you're really, really rich, I guess.
You
I mean,
have
what
a-
else are you going to do?
You have a pet leopard
Gotta
and you
find
drive
a
a
rare bird
Bugatti.
and shoot it.
So most of Qatar's food resources come in through Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So they're only bordering nation.
Yeah.
So all the Qatar people were rushing to the supermarkets to stock up on food because they don't know what's going to happen because now they have all their allies.
December 1999 all over again.
Well, they're kind of allies. America's got a weird position in this, and Trump kind of put his foot in it because he was like, "Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the reason they did this."
Him and his tweets.
And his State Department, like someone on like the Senate committee for like something, Someone had, like a reporter had shown him this tweet, and the guy was just speechless for like 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and he just shook his head. Like, this is a senator, Bob Corker. And he was like not an enemy of Trump. Like, he was like a politician who's like kind of like, he was in the running to be head of the State Department. And it was like, just shaking his head. Because they have a massive military base in Qatar. Their one of their fleets is stationed there. It's like 10,000 soldiers. They're allies with Qatar, but then they're allies with Saudi Arabia, but they've never really gotten along with each other, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, so it's weird, and you definitely don't want to pick sides in it. But the Qataris do sponsor Hamas in Gaza, and they sponsor the Muslim Brotherhood, which was deposed by the current Egyptian government. And they're like a kind of group that the Saudis don't like, because the Saudis are all about like, this is the status quo, we're in charge. We don't like these grassroots organizations that gain power from ordinary people, because they're monarchies. They're like all about like, they don't care about the common person.
Doesn't Saudi have Sharia law?
Yeah, they're really strict. Yeah,
And they're pretty extreme in there.
Yeah.
But they still don't like the terrorists.
yeah, because the terrorists, I think, would probably want to create some kind of broader caliphate that they run instead. It's probably more of a power struggle
it's a
than
power-
anything.
it's a power
It's like,
play.
who's in charge of this
The
caliphate?
correct term is extremist or radicals.
Extremists. It sounds like what Saudi is doing is saying, hey guys, don't play with Qatar because they help terrorists, even though they do it too.
But it also kind of seems like they're just like flexing or something. Like
Yeah, it's more of like a we can leverage them, and now and because of what Trump, and it's maybe actually is because of Trump, because Trump's kind of like, apparently on his trip, according to his tweet, he was like, stop sponsoring these terrorists, and they all pointed at Qatar, and I'm like, they're doing it. Even though when he met the Qatari emir, he was like, we're gonna sell you lots of weapons, and they're the best weapons in the world. They're
beautiful weapons.
No one makes them like us.
The most beautiful guns.
He might have made it seem like to the Saudis that we can do this with impunity, because he's all about like go hard or whatever, do whatever. The Turkish and the Iranians are coming to their help. So the Turkish have just like sent more troops over there, and the Iranians are saying they'll send food.
Wow.
Which won't help get the relationships back.
No, and the
Going.
Kuwaitis are trying to mediate between them.
Is it to the point where there could be a big war?
Nah.
No.
It's more
If
of a
there
power
was,
play.
like, Saudi would squash them.
Really?
Yeah. But there wouldn't be a war like that. I think they would. Saudi Arabia is pretty powerful. They're
Is it-
military anyway.
Isn't Turkey as well though?
Turkey is as well.
And
So-
Iran is.
Oh no, that's just like World War Middle East.
Yeah, I was going to say like Qatar, Iran, and Turkey
Yeah.
versus Saudi and the rest is going to be a very, very big war.
It's a big powder keg, but I don't think they want to do that.
No.
They were working together until really recently in Yemen, because there's these rebels, the Houthi rebels in Yemen. The Saudis have this coalition of Arab nations who are attacking those rebels, which usually involves bombing civilians and starving them to death. But they kicked them out of that group. They kicked the Qataris out of it. So it's weird. Like, they kind of work together, but then they're like, nah, we don't like you. You're not playing ball with us. The Turkish are involved now as well, and the Iranians, but that might be to do with natural gas and people liking natural gas.
Qatar and
which Qatar has
Iran
heaps.
share the gas under the Gulf.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. The big field.
Right.
They have so much money. Just relax.
You know what? They export the same amount of natural gas that Australia does, and we make like 5% of the money they do.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're idiots. Somehow. Just idiots.
Which is like, Australian gas is on sale,
'Cause
guys.
we go like royalties, I guess. I think they own it. So they own the company that gets the money.
Ah,
Right.
Bloody hell.
Right. And that's all for that, right?
seems like a waste.
Yeah, pretty
We'll see.
crazy. See what happens.
So, in our weekly topic that we don't have enough time for, it's, today, so we talked about Margaret Court last week, who hates gay people and thinks everyone in tennis is a lesbian.
That's not nice. You're going to annoy the YouTubes.
Yeah, she's been
saying that.
she's been
There
saying
were-
a lot of things
those were-
in
yeah.
that vein.
Those were her words.
Yeah, and she has a stadium named after
I
her.
don't think that's
Definitely
true.
That's exactly what she said, alright?
It's similar. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. She actually says she loves gay people.
No, she doesn't.
She loves gay people. She hates the sin,
Yeah.
which the sin is the gayness.
She hates gay people.
Yeah.
I hate the thing that defines you.
So naturally, everyone wanted to change the stadium that's named after her from Margaret Court's court
Well, one person started it. That Martina Navratilova
Yeah.
was like, name it after this chick. She's heaps better.
Yeah.
Who is Yvonne Goolagong
Arena.
Arena.
Well, I don't think Arena has a name though.
Funnily enough about this story is if you go to Google Maps right now and Google Yvonne Goolagong Arena, it takes you to Margaret Court.
Ew.
And the map says Yvonne Goolagong Arena,
I love
not
that
Margaret
you have to keep
Court.
looking down every time you say it.
I think even if you search for Margaret Court, it brings that name up.
Yeah. So when the building comes up, it says Margaret Court, but the name on the map, which you'd think would be a lot harder to do than the name in the thing. But apparently, at Google has literally actually come out and said it's not us.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how did they make this happen?
They done been hacked. It was the Russians.
You can send in feedback if something's wrong.
And if
they
enough,
think a lot of people
yeah.
have done it and said
Yeah.
this is actually the Yvonne Goolagong.
It's a classic Wikipedia situation.
Yeah,
If enough
if enough
people
people-
say this is the way it is,
Yeah.
they will change it.
Fake news. It was the Russians.
Which that's interesting.
Right.
But that's all. We have been Trend Settings, episode 45. This is Group Settings. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you listen. Make sure you rate us on iTunes and the podcast app. Make sure you tell your friends about me. Now, I'm out.
I'm Ye Chen.
I'm Chris.
Jono.
Thanks for listening / watching. We'll see you next week where we talk about insert topic here. Thanks for watching.